When I was about 10 or 11, I found myself waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to move. It genuinely frightened me because I'd never heard of sleep paralysis and I had no idea why I couldn't move. I kept looking around my room. It was dark, only lit up by the smallest bit of moonlight and the light on my computer's power button, which added a greenish light to the room. As I looked around, I had the feeling I was being watched, but my heart sank when I noticed a hand slowly reaching up from the foot of my bed. The best way to describe this hand was that it was dark, skinny, and had fingers that were about a foot long each. To give a better description, my bed was a loft, meaning it was basically a bunk bed that didn't have the bottom half. The only thing under my bed was my computer desk, so I would have to climb to get into my actual bed. I noticed my bed started shaking as the creature with the large skinny hands slowly ascended. I couldn't move or even scream for my dad, so the only thing I could do was close my eyes. When I opened them, the creature was gone. However, seconds later, I saw my bed start to shake, and once again, that hand slowly rises up from the foot of my bed. I did the same thing, closing my eyes, only to open them and see that the figure was gone once again. But a few seconds later, as you probably guessed, the same thing happened again. At this point, I felt a bit more in control, knowing that if the creature gets too close, I could simply close my eyes again. With this in mind, I guess I felt like I wanted to see how far he would come. So I kept my eyes open a bit longer. This time, the creature slowly made its way onto my bed and finally gets far enough to reveal his face. And his face was just disturbing. It was pale and cartoonish, but would move as if it was running at 20 frames per second. It was not a face I could describe or even comprehend, and it did not match the dark misty body it had. I was so terrified, and the fact that I couldn't move made it all the more traumatizing for me as a kid. I felt I was trapped, and there was nothing I could do. Well, except for one thing. So once again, I closed my eyes and kept them shut for at least 15 seconds longer than usual. And at this point, I felt like the creature would have been long gone. So I felt safe to open my eyes, but when I did, I felt like my world came to an end as my heart sank to the bottom of my stomach. The creature was like 2 inches from my face. If I could scream, that would have been an appropriate action at the time, but I still couldn't move. I closed my eyes again, and when I opened them, it was gone, and I could move again. I felt a bit relieved that I could move, and I wanted to run to my parents' room across the hall, but I was still paralyzed, this time paralyzed with fear. I laid in my bed shaking, wondering what the heck just happened.